Congressman, we for years have been pushing people for personal preparedness. We've done it for earthquakes, we've done it for tornadoes, we've done it for hurricanes. The problem is the further you get away from an incident, the more complacent people become. And it's a very difficult task. I was the chairman of the Central U.S. Earthquake Consortium. In 1990, we had a prediction by a scientist who turned out to be a kook that said that we were going to have an earthquake on the New Madrid fault on December 2nd, 1990. People were spun up like I've never seen before. Everyone had earthquake kits, schools closed. We had close to 600 members of the media down in New Madrid, Missouri, and Blytheville, Arkansas. Everybody was earthquake focused. If you go to that area now and ask people about their earthquake kits, people will look at you like you're crazy. And it's the same thing with pretty much any other kind of disaster. The further away you get from it,
Absolutely,
the more difficult it is to get people to prepare.
If I may, Madam Chairman, one last question, if that's all right.
We have a vote coming up, so we will.
Thank you. I'll be brief. One of the arguments against taking FEMA out, General, is that or keeping it within DHS is the fact that you have access to the military coming in. You have access to all these resources if FEMA's within DHS. And we all remember after Katrina, where we saw people on the roofs until the Coast Guard came in and rescued them. Now, my understanding is that was done by the Coast Guard under its I guess its own authority, not at the request of FEMA. But it seems to me that obviously access to respond assets is the key, is the important issue that we're dealing with here. So we obviously need a system where FEMA has the best access possible to those military assets, because when it's needed in a big way. So if you could tell us about your experience during Katrina, if FEMA's position within DHS, within that bureaucracy, delayed or negatively impacted the speed or the type of response provided by the military. Also, if you believe that FEMA's access to DHS assets would be diminished if FEMA was taken out of DHS. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes, sir. I think FEMA can deal with the military. It dealt with it for years prior to the current arrangement through Department of Homeland Security. So I think that can happen quickly. DHS adds a layer. Katrina, which is the construct we have now, a mayor would ask FEMA for 10 generators. FEMA, it would take it to the state person would take it to FEMA. FEMA would send it back to Washington. Somebody at DHS would look at it, and then some lawyers would sit around. That same mayor would ask me for generators. I make a phone call, and damn generators were on the way. When we create these layers, and FEMA don't have the authority to act, the people in FEMA know what to do. These are good people. They are good public servants. But when you create that layer and that protective service of DHS, which themselves are good people, but they're focused on security. When we were flying the people out of the convention center, we had a little tiff trying to get the airport open in New Orleans because the people in DHS wanted to make sure nobody was getting on the airplane with guns. Hello. So we're applying counter al-Qaeda activities because the St. Bernard is trying to save the people.
Okay.
And you've got the pit bull and the German shepherd who's trying to protect them. And the St. Bernard loses every time.
Thank you. Again, thank you all for your service.